What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? It's Brandon here, theme park predictions and more, and very excited to be here and talking about roller coasters and just hanging out with you guys on a Saturday night. Just want to talk about my channel, my life, roller coasters, and I'm giving you guys this opportunity to ask me anything, and I will tell you. I like to be, very personal and, upfront with my subscribers and people who support me. So I greatly appreciate it. With that said, the Coaster Scorpion, I'm doing pretty good. My son had a rough day yesterday, and today was a much better day, which makes me and my wife, much happier. So we'll see. That's way too dark. Hold up here. The glasses. I have to have my glasses. But it is what it is. Maybe I need to fix the lighting in the background. Any color requests? I could do pretty much any color. I have these lights when I did my haunted house, and I don't do the haunted house anymore. Hold up. It's orange. I mean, I can't do orange because my Bengals lost, and I'm mad as ever. Anyways, let's see here. Sorry, the wife texted me, and if I don't respond, I get in trouble. So, Coaster Thrills brings up an interesting question or comment. What is going on with Thrill Dragster? Well, the latest picture show that just surfaced on Twitter about, I think, an hour ago, maybe, that there's a huge trench dug right where like the transfer track was located, as well as the oh gosh, what's it called? The little, I can't think of it now. The lights where it goes red, yellow, green. It's right there. I can't think of what it's called. Someone else tell me what it is. But anyways, with that being said, that's gone. Like the Christmas tree lights, whatever it's called. Yes, there you go. Hi, Katie. Hi, Katie's Coasters and Steven. Thank y'all. Anyways, but if you can look on it closely on the picture, the what's it called? The station is completely like gutted. Hold on, responding. Go to YouTube. Anyways, I'm trying to find a picture over here. Let's see. So as I retweeted it. So, I mean, probably horrible quality, but as y'all can see, there's nothing in the station now. So definitely interesting. Very, very exciting to, be a part of like the guessing game and seeing exactly what's going on with it. But first of all, happy Saturday night. Hope everyone's doing well. I mean, it's February now, which is good because March things start getting more fun, and the parks start opening up if you're not already have a year-round park. So January, February are like the most depressing months. It's really interesting because I see on the analytics on my channel. I know other channels are the same, where there's a big dip. This time of year, people kind of aren't as interested in theme parks. They pursue other interests at this time, which is great. So it's always come on March, it's more fun, and then April, then of course May, etc. Dylan, we the Coasters, what's going on, bro? Hope you're well. Chili Plays, I love your videos. Thank you, I appreciate that. Dr. Puffin, are you happy that Cedar Fair is focusing more on theming? Absolutely, yeah. I think it's a really nice step. I really like it. I had the opportunity to explore the new aeronautical landing over at Carowinds about 2 weeks ago, the construction site, and I'm very, very impressed with everything that they've done with that. So it looks really exciting. It looks really cool, and I really like what Cedar Fair is doing. Not everyone does, and I get that, but I love what Cedar Point is doing for 2023. I think it's needed, and I totally respect people who won't agree with me, and that's fine. But you look at their past restaurant additions, they're really good. And people go to Epcot and these bigger parks where Cedar Fair is kind of taking bits and pieces from, and they go to these, islands of adventure for the restaurants as well as the attractions. It's all part of the experience. So obviously Cedar Fair's bread and butter's rides and coasters, and that will not change. But I have no problem them throwing us some good restaurants here and there. So, Ghoster Coasters, what's going on? Just this guy's cool. We follow on Twitter all the time. Really do appreciate all the support from everyone. And it's Chris, thank you. As a 42-year-old coaster enthusiast, I love seeing a channel with someone around my own age. It's funny because I always get commented that you're 39, your voice sounds like you're, I don't know, in your young 20s. And I'm like, I guess it's a good thing that I can make videos till I'm like 80, right? But here's some things just to get kind of like, what's it called? Open with you guys. I really hate scripting. Like when I'm making my videos, the biggest piece, and I don't tell anyone this really, but I like these live sessions to be more intimate, kind of like, hey, let's just talk and get to know me more. But I struggle. Like if you're starting a channel, if you have a channel, like it's great, and I will do anything I can to help you guys out with motivation and tips and stuff. But even me, like it's very frustrating because I've always been a fast talker, and I've always thought 5 things in front of what I'm supposed to be thinking about when I'm reading. So for, let's say, a 9-minute video that's scripted, I might take 20 minutes of recording, or even 25 minutes. Oh, and I have to edit out all the curse words because I get so mad at myself because I just mumble over something, or if I don't pronounce something the right way, or if I slur a word together. Like, it's horrible. And I got called out on, I think, Reddit, some on the Roller Coaster Jerk forum. They just trash everyone. It's really annoying, actually, but oh well. And they said, oh, he doesn't pronounce, I guess, roller coaster. I kind of don't pronounce the R as much as I should. So now I'm like really focusing on roller coaster. And I think as far as making videos, it's probably one of my least favorite things, but I'm actually more excited because I get to try it more. And the more you do it, the better you get and the more comfortable you get, because no one really I've never liked my voice at all. So it's like hearing it. And then I was like, oh, this really, you look at other channels like, man, that guy or that girl has a great voice for this. And then here's me, but it is what it is. So Paramount Parks, what's going on, man? Hope you're well. Park Visions, I always like interacting with you on Twitter as well. Z13, I absolutely love your videos. Thank you. And Train, yes. Did you hear about the Six Flags Over Texas news? Harley Quinn Spinsanity. I think it's Spinsanity. It's closed forever. There's 2 of those rides. The other one's at Great Adventure, so I'll be surprised if that one's still around for much longer. But the park announced it's officially removed. And then over to Six Flags St. Louis, Excalibur. Anyone else here been on Excalibur? The really weird flat ride. I don't even know what manufacturer it is, but it's that really wild-looking ride at Six Flags St. Louis. I've been on it. Very weird ride. I just remember, like, you spin and then you look down and the whole thing rotates. And I haven't been on it in years, but I did ride it when I was probably 24, 25. So it's been, the last time I was at St. Louis was right after Evel Knievel opened. I think it was called, that, but now it's called American Thunder, I think it is. But haven't been to that park. I need to, but they just don't obviously invest anything. And now that I have, before the channel, like, I had a different business. I was more or less a website developer. I created my own website for like Florida travel, and it did make a ton of money, but I was also a stay-at-home dad. So, but I wanted to provide for my family regardless. And so then when COVID happened, that's what started the channel. But I used to sit at my house watching El Toro Orion and Costa Studios and Airtime Thrills, all these other ones. And I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. But anyways, so I started doing, obviously the channels and stuff like that. But now that the channel's here and I have, I'm making more money and I need to put more money back into the channel, I'm able to travel more. But the problem is we have 2 kids at home and our parents don't live anywhere near us. So it's very hard to, I don't want to leave my wife alone with 2 kids for very long. So I'm very strategic about how I plan my trips out. and it's definitely a struggle. But I definitely would like to get back to St. Louis, but I kind of go where the new rides are going to go, at least at this point. So, anyways, so this whole live stream is basically ask me anything. I'm very upfront. I love to answer the questions as much as I can, but just know that this little scroll thing here is very, very, very quick. So if I don't answer your question or see it, it's not because I don't want to. It's just because I love everyone commenting. It's just hard to see everything. With that said, let's see. Sounds like my COVID experience watching. Yeah, thank you, Ghoster Coasters. Yeah, that COVID definitely made me do the channel, which is good. You're the man, Brandon. Remember to smile today and keep riding coasters. Yes, 100%. Let's see. Dan the Coaster Man. St. Louis has removed. Yep. What's going on, Dan? I have not seen the webcam looking at Top Thrill. It's been blurred recently. I'll have to check it out tomorrow. When do you think, Toby? When do you think the first Axis coaster and T-Rex will be built? When and where? I know the first one for the Axis is overseas in Europe somewhere. They've already announced it. I don't know which park in Europe. As far as T-Rex, who knows? RMC is definitely teasing us, and my whole philosophy with that is they wouldn't be teasing us if they didn't have anything cooking. So it's still cooking. It's not ready to come out yet, but it's going to come soon. Let's see. Teen Turtle, are you planning on going to Kings Island this year? Yes, because Kings Island is my second home park. I grew up 45 minutes north, so I go up to see my mother every year. Whenever we do that, we swing down to Kings Island. Let's see here. Park Visions. What has been your favorite video on your channel so far? Very good question. That's really hard. Like, I've always enjoyed helping people. And so I think like my insider guides, where I basically tell a bunch of tips for the parks when you visit them, I get more out of that because I know I'm helping people than just talking about like a prediction video. So like my favorite ones to create are the ones that I get to like draw on my maps and like, okay, how can this park fit this type of roller coaster in? So I'm torn. I like doing that, and I also like doing the the tips and how to have the best day at certain parks. I really like top 10 videos. Actually, I have a video coming out tomorrow, the top 10 defunct coasters here in America that I've been on. I've been on a lot of roller coasters that are no longer around, so I'm excited to for you guys to see that video. But those videos do well over time. It's all, my philosophy is, and here's a tip too: if anyone has a YouTube channel out there, it doesn't matter which niche, is focus on evergreen content as well. Because when I first started doing this, I spent 6 to 8 hours on a video for a single video for, like, let's say Six Flags St. Louis or Six Flags America, and the result is not as many people watch it because, one, those parks don't get much, and two, they're just not as big of name as parks as like the bigger ones. However, it just comes down to it where they just really weren't bringing in as much views, which equates to money. And everything I do, because I have a limited amount of time to do this, is I have to work on return on investment for me and my channel. I want my viewers to have the best experience possible. I want to grow as fast as possible. And of course, I want to make some money while doing it. So it's definitely interesting how it all comes together. Max Martin, what do you think what do you think Silver Dollar City is going to announce on Monday? Definitely their new Fire in the Hole roller coaster attraction that they're building in the giant box. I was there in June, and that building's massive, so very, very excited to see it. Let's see here. Let's see. Heyo, playing CO, how many credits do you have? I'm not a huge stickler when it comes to like credit counts. I have over 400. It's like 410 maybe. I needed to log into my Log Ride app on my phone to see exact, but it's around 400 some. But I love the people that I have friends with. I'm friends with some people at Carowinds, and they know exactly how many times they've ridden Fury and Nighthawk and these other rides. It's like, oh my gosh, how many times they've been on it this year. It's like, I don't have the mental capacity to think about that. I just go enjoy it. But I love the people that do. Alex, Chiefs or Eagles? Neither. I'm a huge Bengals fan. I'm mad we got chipped out of that game, as well as the Super Bowl last year. So I'll have to go Eagles. Ghoster Coasters, was there a moment that everything clicked for you content-wise, or do you still question your content before making it? I think anyone still questions, like, a lot of things. I just watched the video about this about 15 minutes ago about, like, I think of an idea. I think this video is going to do awesome, and I would like videos to blow up like Theme Park Crazy or El Toro Ryan top tens, because they have almost millions of views, or some do have millions of views, and like I just need one of those, but I don't want to try too hard. But it's a matter of trying to find the right niche, and it's all a learning process too. So I feel like in the end of the day, it just comes down to what clicked for me is the prediction aspect, because I really at the time, like, Coaster Studios and a few other channels were doing predictions, but it wasn't like a consistent thing. And so when I first started in March of 2020, I think the 17th of March, right when COVID first happened, I said, you know what? There's no theme parks, no sports. I'm stuck at home with a baby and a wife, and I'm going to get depressed. I can't be depressed. So I started with my earpods, and my audio is horrible. Then I said to the wife, I got to buy $100 mic. I bought a mic. I had blankets all around me to kind of block out the sound. So, like, if I can do this, you can do that. That's the moral of the story. But I think that's when it clicked, because it took me just about 2 months to get monetized, which on YouTube, to get paid, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. And so luckily for me, as I hit both of those right around the 1st of June of 2020, and I just knew that I just had to work hard, and the prediction aspect is my bread and butter. And it just kind of was one of those things of let's do that. But then at the same time, I want to throw in some other type of videos as well, not just do predictions, because I want to expand my horizons and stuff. So Spencer Davis, been to Carowinds on the weekend recently. Is it crowded? No, they're getting around anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 people a day, which isn't horrible. But Fury is running one train, so might be a 15, 20-minute wait, but it's definitely worth it. But definitely, if you're in the area, definitely go. But at this point, if you're not planning a trip, I just wait till end of March when everything's open, or at least most of the stuff is open. Let's see here. Is your house on fire? No, I got orange lights. Actually, it's getting hot in here, so let's cool it off with the blue. How about that? Is that cool? What do you think is going to replace Vortex at Kings Island? Tyler Hopkins, what's up, man? Thank you so much for all the support. I always love seeing your name. I mean, I said all along, like, it has to be. It doesn't have to be, but I would love it to be like a mock multi-launch, or a mock extreme spinner, a Vekoma multi-launch, or an Intamin. Knowing Cedar Fair, it's probably like a B&M dive, which they're fun, but it's all for the GP. Kings Island needs a roller coaster dedicated to us and not just GP. Like, they need a roller coaster on the same intensity and thrill level as Maverick and Steel Vengeance, Fury, Iron Gwazi, something along the lines of that. So, that's what I think. And Orion's good, but they had a lot of potential to do something bigger with Orion, but sadly they did not. Let's see here. Kopitar 1152. Thank you so much for the donation. $1.99. Appreciate it. Is Swamp Fox worth a drive from Charlotte? So I guess you're from Charlotte. Well, welcome. I'm in Southwest Charlotte by Rivergate. So pretty close maybe to you. Yeah, Swamp Fox is an awesome wooden roller coaster. It's down in Myrtle Beach. It's at the Family Kingdom. I first rode it when I was like probably 9, and I rode it with my grandpa. And that was like one of my favorite memories with my grandpa. It was really cool. But I recently rode it. My wife and I got married in Myrtle Beach in 2017, so I rode it then as well. And it's pretty smooth, and it's great. It's a great wooden coaster. Highly recommend getting down there to ride it. They also have a kind of a wonky Wild Mouse, a great log flume, and some just a really weird, just interesting rides as well. So I would say so, but maybe make like a weekend out of it. Wait until it warms up. Go to the beach. Do a family kingdom. Let's see here. Cedar Point Kid, best traveling flat ride that you rode. I don't trust carnivals as much. The older I get, the more like, I don't know about that. Especially working in operations for 8 years. I would have to say the Zipper. The Zipper is a great flat ride. It's a lot of fun. So we'll see. Let's see here. First of all, guys, thank you all so much for joining in. This is Brandon here, Theme Park Predictions. Greatly, greatly appreciate all the support and everyone coming out on the Saturday night. Let's see. Hey, Brandon, what are your thoughts on Kennywood? Great park, one of my favorites. If you've never been to Kennywood, get out there, check it out. They have some great rides. Phantom's Revenge and Steel Curtain are just really, real. It's weird because I ride both of them. I'm like, I almost like Steel Curtain at times better. It's almost like Steel Vengeance and Maverick for me. Whenever I get off one, I think, yeah, I like that one better. But then I go ride the other, and I'm like, no, I like the other one better. I really feel like Phantom's Revenge is better, but I really like Steel Curtain. Let's see here. The Coaster Dad, thank you, man. I appreciate all the comments and stuff. We go back and forth. Let's see here. What is your top 3 bucket list overseas parks? Phantasialand, obvious. I would say Europa, and then Energylandia. I think those 3 parks just look phenomenal, and they just. I can't wait to get over there. I've never been overseas. Honestly, between me and 79 people, never really been able to afford it growing up and even now. So it's one of those things of definitely it's on my radar. Hopefully 2025. It just comes down to, do I want to bring my son or not? Do I want to go solo? Do I want to bring the family? All that stuff. So hopefully soon. Balto Racing, in your mind, what is realistically the next coaster at a Cedar Fair park to get axed? Love your videos as always. Thank you so much. Well, Vortex at Carowinds, I wish I could say, but unfortunately it's not. And again, thank you for the $5 donation. I really do appreciate it. Next to get axed. That's a very interesting question. That's what made me think here. I don't think it's Dorney Park Possessed, because I think that's definitely staying for a few more years. Cedar Fair might be in a position right now where they're not really focusing on ripping out coasters, which is great. I could see Vertigo at Kings Island potentially get removed. I could down the road, maybe. They need a front gate coaster, get rid of the International Street Restaurant. I mean, I know they use it for special events, but they need a Kings Island's entry so beautiful. I'd really like to see them open it up more. And yeah, I think I wish it was Vortex, but they just got the whole new control panel at Carowinds. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I honestly don't know. Yeah, oh, actually, Accelerator. I mean, I personally believe that if Dragster is a success, and I think it is, then we'll see whatever they're doing to Dragster. I could see them possibly doing it over to Accelerator. Raymond Kanja, thank you so much for the $1.99 donation. Greatly appreciate it. Why do you think Cedar Fair neglects Michigan's Adventure? See, I told you, I slur. Oh yeah, here's the thing, right? Like when I was younger, I asked the same question. And then I kind of thought, looking at the whole spectrum of things, Michigan's Adventure makes decent money for Cedar Fair. Like it's profitable parks. It's a profitable park, meaning that like I just feel like Cedar Fair knows that that park's in the middle of nowhere. So if they would invest in, let's say, even a $10 million, $5 million roller coaster, will they see the return on investment? I wish they would, but if Michigan's Adventure was located closer to Indiana and Ohio border, then it would definitely get more attention. But it's like 3 hours north of that or something like that. And if you're familiar with geographically wise of Michigan, you have Lake Michigan over here, then Lake Huron over here, then Erie over here. So it's like surrounded by lakes and Canada, but that part of Canada really isn't populated either. So I think you have geographically wise, that's a huge reason why. They have the land to expand, but is there a need to it? And now on the flip side, I do feel as if they will be getting a new ride, every couple of years, a new coaster. That new kids area looks really nice, so that's a very good start. I just don't see the need business wise for them to invest every single year into that park, unfortunately. Let's see. The Coaster Man. I've been watching you since I first became an enthusiast 1.5 years ago. Thank you so much. But if it wasn't for you, I would not be the enthusiast I am today. Well, I appreciate that. Likewise to you and everyone else. I would not be the enthusiast I am today without you guys. Because before the channel, I've been a coaster enthusiast since I was like 7. And now it's like I'm still the enthusiast, but now I have a career behind it, and I'm actually giving back to the community and the parks that I love so much by bringing positive, informative information and just having fun and promoting the parks in the best way that I know. Let's see here. Let's see. Mini Gallop. Do you think that Busch Gardens Tampa will have another coaster? That's interesting because they have markings over in Jungala, and someone had posted a picture on Twitter the other day, and that's interesting. I would assume the coaster would go where the Serengeti Flyer is located, their new S&S Scream and Swing. Just to me, I think it makes the most sense. That ride's kind of off the main path. But with that being said, maybe they have bigger plans from Jungala. Maybe that's a new coaster. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Let's see. Another one asked who the Super Bowl. I'm going Eagles. What do you think is next for the Georgia parks? Fun Spot, I think, has obviously they got to see how Air Force One plays out, but I definitely can see them, expanding that park pretty rapidly. They have the land for sure. Over Georgia, I mean, Fun Spot's competition now. Fun Spot, Atlanta, this little go-kart track. I drove out there last summer to look at construction, and they actually have this massive coaster, and it's already the best coaster in Georgia. Already. Haven't been on it, but I know it is. And it's just crazy to think. So the new ride this year, the Spaghetti Bowl, yeah, it looks good. It looks fun for kids. They need that, definitely. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. I could definitely see over Georgia getting a coaster the next 2 to 3 years, a major coaster, hopefully. Let's see here. Let's see. Cheese. To see you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you coming out and checking out. Let's see. What's your hottest hot take? Little Pirates. I don't know. Like, here's my hottest hot take. I love Fury 325. That's my number 3. However, it is not the most fun coaster at Carowinds. I think Copperhead Strike is the most fun. Now, the best ride is Fury, but the most fun is I get off Copperhead, and I think I have everything I want. I have inversions, I have hang time, air time, quick transitions, like the theming, like the launches, the JoJo roll. Like, that's probably, for right now, just thinking off the top of my head, that's probably what it is. Someone asked about these posters, made to thrill.com. That's where I got them. I'm in a process of finding someone to create some posters for me or creating them myself, because people ask me all the time and I'm tired of giving away like them money. So I want someone to buy a poster I created. But anyways, yeah, they're great posters. Let's see. Bookum Dokum. Thank you, man. Hope you're well. Let's see how many. The forum, yeah. So I did a video. I did a community post. I'm making a new video about like what do coasters mean to you, and how coasters change your life, around that realm. And I'm going to post it on my channel. Basically, everyone's welcome to do it. And just email me themeparkpredictions@gmail.com, and I'll send over. I'm working on a form because I need to have signatures on it, basically covering my butt, saying, hey, I'm allowed to use this footage. You give me permission to use it, blah, 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 blah. But then like a 15, 20 second, of you talking about roller coasters and stuff. So I'm still working on that form, but I'm going to get it out hopefully the next day or two. Let's see here. What's your favorite park in Europe? I've never been to Europe yet. I will hopefully soon. What do you think is going on with Buccaneer Battle at Great America? Well, obviously the ride's closed, so I would definitely keep that as a potential spot for the next attraction. Maybe a flat ride, maybe a coaster. We'll see. Do you have plans of going to Kennywood this summer? No, not right now. So my plans this summer, as of now, I'm just now the last week finalizing stuff. I'm going to Florida and a week and a half from now to do some film stuff from my other channel, which I have another channel called Vacation Guides USA, where I talk about anything vacation related. So go check it out, Vacation Guides USA. I'm really trying to grow that channel. And since this is 87 people now, wow, thank you all so much. Because that channel, I've always liked travel and helping people. So I have that channel. I'm going down to Orlando for like a day. I'm going to get footage of a few resorts and where I'm staying at. And then I'm going to go over to SeaWorld and Universal for a couple hours and shoot down to Tampa, get some night rides on Iron Gwazi, my number one coaster. And then head back to Charlotte on Monday. So I'll leave Saturday and I come back Monday. So very, very, very quick turnaround. And then I have going back to Orlando. I think I just talked to the wife about it tonight to stay at Cabana Bay for 5 nights in end of May for my 40th birthday. Yeah, I'm old. So we'll do that. And then we'll go up to New England where she's from. And we'll do Hershey Park in New England and probably Dorney Park. And then in July or August, we'll go to Ohio, do Kings Island. I got to try to make it to Cedar Point this year. Fun Spot Atlanta. Whenever they open Air Force One, I'm getting in the car and driving there. And I'm going to Texas for Roller Coaster Rodeo. Y'all should check it out. It's at Fiesta. Let's see, June 9th to the 11th. Really, really cool event, I hear. So I have a really good buddy who works out at Fiesta. Has been there for 20 years. So I'm going to go see him, ride some roller coasters, do SeaWorld San Antonio, which I've not done, Stingray or the jet ski coaster, whatever it's called. And I've not done Dr. Diabolical Cliffhanger. So very excited to get out to Texas. Let's see. Raymond, thank you so much for the donation and the question. I appreciate it. Create a 5-year prediction plan for Michigan's Adventure. What would you add and change? If I was in charge of Michigan's Adventure, first thing I would do is I would connect the path, because if you ever look at the aerial view of the park, it's like a giant C. So I would create a path from where the Grand Rapids ride is, kind of going behind not Shivering Timbers, but the Wildcat roller coaster, whatever it's called. I've never been to Michigan's Adventure. I need to. I was supposed to go 2 years ago or 4 years ago, but didn't work out. But anyways, I would connect the path. And then from there, I would work on getting a new flat ride, maybe a Star Flyer. And then I would look at adding a launch coaster at some point, or at least, I mean, you could always get a hand-me-down from Great America once it does close if they want to do that. But I really feel as if like Intamin has some really cool models that are really pretty affordable. Vekoma as well. And there's a lot of cool things that they could do. But I don't see a massive, $20 million coaster going in there. Obviously, it wouldn't make any sense. I would say price point between 5 and 10 would make more sense. But I do think they're due. And I would definitely add a new roller coaster to that new Midway to kind of space out the park a little bit better. Then I would also work on potentially, if they had it in the budget, to work on a new slide for the water park, just because that water park, they have a great Pro Slide Tornado and a few other slides. But other than that, like they could definitely use a mat racer or even, refurbished slide to make it with the Pro Slide saucers, stuff like that. So thank you for the question. Hope you like what I had to say. Yeah, Robert Polk, a Chance Hyper GTX would be great at Michigan's Adventure. I changed my answer. That's yes, because they would get airtime and Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom is in my top 2025. It's so good. I absolutely love it. All right. Let's see here. What 5 parks would you recommend visiting in the US and Canada over this coming summer? Well, if you're coming from out of country, then you might want to pair parks together. So that way you're not going from this location, that location, make it more worth your while. I mean, it all depends. The real question is, what parks have you been to? Have you never been to a park here? Because if you're just going for the new rides, then you have to center it around Air Force One and Wildcats Revenge at Hershey. So I would do like Six Flags Over Georgia, Dollywood, and then Wildcats Revenge, and then maybe throw in a different park, maybe Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, branch out a little bit. But that's what I would have to say. Tyler Hopkins, do you have any plans to put any guides or tips for Hershey Park? Yes, I'm working on one right now for Knott's Berry Farm. I'm also working on another one for, I think, Magic Mountain, SeaWorld Orlando, Universal, and Islands of Adventure. And I want to get to Hershey Park as well and do that. My home park. Too cold, Molly. Do you think Carowinds would look better with a dive coaster or a wing coaster? How about neither? I'm not a huge B&M fan. Like, I get it. It'll be great for capacity and stuff, but I think a dive would look really good in the center of the park or where the Rip Roaring Rapids is. I would prefer a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster 10 times over a B&M dive, all day, every day for that. The wing coasters, if it's Thunderbird at Holiday World, sure, absolutely, love that ride. Do you make any money off of streams? All right, cool. This is my Ask Me Anything. I have no problem. Not really. Maybe $4 or $5 are like ad revenue, but the people who want to donate, they can put $2, $5, whatever it is for a question. I make money from that, which is very, very thankful, and I appreciate that. But yeah, streams I don't, and this is only my 4th one, but I like doing it because it's good to just have one-on-one and talk. So I don't do it for the money. I do it to get away from the wife and have some time with some coaster people. I'm just joking. Let's see. The Midwest dude, Brandon, what type of coaster type do you think Valley Fair's new coaster will be? I just did a video on that, and I'm all over the place. I think I could see a mini dive, but then again, would Valley Fair want to spend $13 to $15 million for that? Who knows? You could have a bunch of different things. I would love. I can guarantee you it's going to include inversions. It almost has to. Honestly, almost has to. So let's see. Katie's Coasters. Go check out Katie's Coasters. Seriously, I like giving people shout outs, and she's always been commenting on stuff. And I've watched some of her videos, and she does really well. And she kind of switched her channel from like different niche to just coasters, and she has the subscribers but not the hours, so she can't get monetized. So go check out Katie's Coasters and watch one video. If everyone watches a 10-minute video, that'll really help her out. Seriously, she does great work, and it's really cool to see. Most of the YouTubers for this niche is like men or teenagers, whatever, but it's cool to see women doing it too. And I think Katie is a little bit younger, definitely younger than me, but it's really, I just kind of have a little special place in my heart for it, and I want to help her out. Clarence, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Iron Gwazi, to this day, RMC has had a ton of structural and mechanical issues. Iron Gwazi's 2-year delay. How is clearance testing neglected by RMC and C's Entertainment? That whole situation was just interesting, really, because there's so many things that were sketchy with that. It was the C's owed RMC money apparently, and we weren't. We knew Gwazi would get finished, but I think there's so much more to what was really happening, and I think COVID kind of threw a wrench in everything because it was just a very bizarre situation. So Gwazi, to my knowledge, it's been pretty operational as far as it hasn't suffered much downtime, which is great. So as far as the structure goes, I think it's pretty good now. Now, they might have. I think. Let me say this. I think it's better than Steel Vengeance because Steel Vengeance. I mean, that was a massive pile of wood of 200 feet tall. I don't know why. Just wouldn't Steel Vengeance look better with a truss lift hill? I think it would just look so much better with like Goliath or Great America or Zadra. Like that would have been really cool. Like I get why they didn't, but Iron Gwazi looked phenomenal. So I hope I answered your question. To your to your acceptance, but I did feel like it's definitely a weird situation between both companies. And there's always my philosophy in life is there's always two sides to every story. So we hear one thing, but there might be other things that we don't know about. All right, you guys are great tonight. Thank you very much. You guys are great all the time. But thank you, Jordan. Do you think Six Flags will buy the next gen Vacomas? Yes, I think within the next year we will have a Six Flags park announce a new Vacoma coaster. Hopefully, it's like a Bermuda Blitz or a multi-launch or amazing coasters because these new Vacomas look amazing, absolutely amazing. All right, hope everyone's doing well on this Saturday night. It's raining here in Charlotte. It's not fun, but we'll see. Hopefully, it's gonna be cold tomorrow. What is your local theme park? We just moved about 2 months ago, and I did live around 5 miles from Carowinds, and now I'm like 3.5 miles from Carowinds. So it's pretty cool. I can actually, out the window of my daughter's room during this wintertime, I can look out and see the lights flashing on Fury and Sky Tower. I mean, very little. But when I leave my neighborhood, I can see when there's no leaves on the trees, Fury's Green Lift Hill. So I knew I made the right decision from that. Let's see here. Let's go, Brandon. Love you, bro. What's up, man? Hope you're well. Thank you. I've been saying let's go, Brandon, since I was a little kid. Let's see here. And Paramount Parks is great too. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, him or her. I don't know who, but they're great. They just post a lot of informative information, and also Surveillance. He's really good on Twitter as well. Always appreciate his interactions and polls on Twitter. And will Magic Mountain ever get a Giga? I mean, I would love for them to. So I don't think you can say no because no one knows what the future holds. But we'll see. Maybe 10 years from now, 5 years. I don't know. Who knows? What's your favorite wooden roller coaster? El Toro. Let's see here. Park Visions. Brandon, where do you think the first Zamperla Double Heart or Vacoma Super Boomerang will go? Well, the Super Boomerang first one's overseas. I could definitely see it coming to a park here in America. I mean, there's a lot of cool parks that would do really well with. The Zamperla Double Heart, I thought that it could go to Dorney. When I did the video, I'm like, that seems perfect for Dorney. But obviously, it's most likely a B&M Dive or a Gerstlauer Infinity. But there's a lot of different parks. Hell, even Michigan's Adventure. It all depends on the price tag. It is El Nino. I thought it was Ask Me Anything. You can ask me anything you want. I'm a pretty open person. Do you think El Toro will ever be the same? I think it's going to open up. And from what I've heard, Six Flags is putting a Band-Aid on it. So I don't want to say that I can see another accident happening, but I personally would do something different with it. But who knows? Maybe this is all that Six Flags can do at the time. So hopefully it will definitely figure it out. Oh, I didn't know what he or she asked me. What do you think about the Gold Rusher's new look? We the Coasters. Yo, that beautiful Gold Train. I had one of my friends from Carowinds. They reached out to me and they told me the inside scoop on that like 6 months ago. So I knew it was coming and it delivered. That Gold Train looks phenomenal. Cannot wait to ride it. It's a good little ride. Can you explain why Cedar Fair won't work with RMC or Intamin? I think that's more or less I can't say it's a rumor that the enthusiasts started because They have not. There's reasons why they have not worked with them, so I get it. But I'm a firm believer that they will work with them in the future. It just it's like every relationship has good and bad days, good and bad years. So I think with Railblazer, Twisted Timbers, and Steel Vengeance causing a lot of mechanical issues that really made Cedar Fair upset, and then obviously Intamin had I-305, Maverick, and Shoot the Rapids, Cedar Point, all mess up a little bit in some way or the other, and as well as oh gosh, the rapid is it Peerless Plunge, whatever it is over at Knott's. That ride really messed up. So I think for obvious reasons, Cedar Fair chose not to work with them. I can't blame them, but I think there's different people in charge and different times have changed, and Intamin's reliability has really gone through the roof much better, and RMC's being very innovative and RMC doing RMC things. So I do think they'll work together eventually very soon. Coaster Cat, what is your next coaster choice for Carowinds? If it was me, what I would have to say probably like a good GCI Twister Woody, like Mystic Timbers in the woods. What I think is going to happen, I think it's going to happen on the Rip Roaring or the Rapids area, and we're probably looking at maybe a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster or maybe a water coaster, because they definitely need a new water ride. I did a video where Rip Out Vortex put an RMC single roller coaster there, like Jersey Devil, but they're not tearing down Vortex for at least 3-4 more years. So I don't know. I would prefer it to not be a B&M, maybe a Vekoma, an Intamin, a Mach, but well, they already have a Mach, so I guess that doesn't make any sense. But Mach does have Big Dippers, and Europa Park is adding this awesome roller coaster in 2024. They're a Big Dipper, and the capacity, Europa gets more people, I believe, than Cedar Point does, or definitely over Carowinds. So maybe a Mach Big Dipper. Let's see here. Thank you, Raymond. I appreciate that. Would you work for Cedar Fair or Six Flags if you could? I'm actually working on a video. I'm super stoked about it. No one knows about it yet, but I'll tell y'all. And that is, I'm going to be doing a video what it's like to work in theme parks and give you like pros and cons of each department, because right now all these parks need us or need people to go work. And I'm very, very thankful for everyone who's worked in parks. I've worked in 4 different parks myself, because if it wasn't for people going out to work, we couldn't go ride roller coasters. So very, very, very thankful for that. I would work for Cedar Fair over Six Flags at this point, just knowing where Six Flags is and the uncertainty of the CEO, as well as the financial situation. Obviously, if you're located near Six Flags Park over Cedar Fair, go work at Six Flags. It's a great place to work. But for me, if I was going to do it, I would, if I had a choice, I would say Cedar Fair. Though I always thought it would be cool to work for Herschend. I worked for Universal, Paramount, and Six Flags, and SeaWorld. So I've never worked for Cedar Fair. But when I moved to Carowinds in 2014, I was like, I could go work at Carowinds, but I don't want to. I just want to go enjoy myself and not know anyone. But now I go there so often, I know people, and people know me from the channel, which is great. So, but I'm glad I don't work there. Plus, daycare is crazy expensive. It'll be like over $2,500 a month for 2 kids for daycare. So I stay-at-home dad. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I save us a lot of money. So that's great. Paramount Parks, the old employee uniform collection. Yeah, I will have to show you guys a picture of me working in my Paramount Parks white polo, supervisor polo. It's pretty cool. Alan Schroeder, what's going on, man? I need to ride Fury with you again. Yeah, I love all your comments. You really do put a lot of time into it. I just want to say thank you. Any international trips planned? Definitely probably 2024, 2025. It all depends on basically we just had a daughter. She's 4 months now, so I have to kind of work that around and see if do I want to bring my son with me or not. I don't want to bring my son if he's not going to be tall enough or be scared to ride some rides. So hopefully soon, 2024, definitely 2025. But it's gonna be interesting. I have a question regarding one of the shirts in the merch shop. What coaster is the airtime shirt? That's a stock photo, I believe, of Goliath at La Ronde, and the B&M Hypercoaster, I believe. But yeah, if you guys like some cool coaster merch, themeparkmerch.com, go check it out. I design all my own merch. I was actually going to run up and put a shirt on for this, but I had to change a dirty diaper, and it was a number 2 instead of number 1, so it took a little bit more time. Let's see. Mark, is Gemini safe at Cedar Point? Yes, I think for sure. Definitely. Oh, Alan, you're at Carowinds today. I was going to go, but my wife's sister came in town, so I had to, play the let's play the family visit type of thing. Let's see. Cedar Point kid, if you could pick up and fit a coaster in a trash can, what would you throw away? Vortex, Carowinds. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Beth, welcome, Beth. What should replace Goliath at Six Flags New England? The park desperately needs a launch coaster, so I could definitely see that. If my vision, if they can remove Flashback, and they've already removed Goliath, that's a really nice stretch of land. Get a multi-launch coaster or just a single launch coaster, and it's very marketable. New England's fastest, longest, tallest, blah 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 launch coaster. I could also see a dive. A B&M dive would be very marketable. New England's only dive coaster. We know that Lake Compounce really isn't going to get the money to spend on a B&M dive. So that would be a ride that would be very safe, that New England can safely say no other park around will ever build a ride like that. Let's see. A coaster like Max Force. Yes, Joe the Coaster fan. But S&S, those rides, like I love Max Force and Steel Curtain, but their downtime's really high. So I don't know how much. It's interesting to me that we have not seen any other ride built like that. And it's, obviously we've had COVID and stuff, but Max Force, they opened up in 2019. So I feel like they must have rubbed a lot of chains the wrong way, because we haven't seen anything from S&S. To my knowledge, I could be wrong, as of late announcement wise. So we'll see. Dan the Coaster Man, how many coasters do you think Six Flags bought at IAAPA? Well, they have the 2 coming this year. We already know that. Maybe a third, but there might be something in 2024. I mean, they already said, the CEO said they're going to get back to their record-breaking ways, whatever that means. Katie's Coasters, what most underrated park you've ever been to? It's a good question. I would have to say Valley Fair. I loved Valley Fair, and I know they haven't added a new ride in years, but like that park is just fun. I had the great I was lucky enough to get to Worlds of Fun, Dorney Park, and Valley Fair all of last year, and all mid-tier Cedar Fair parks kind of struggling to get new coasters, and I love them all. They're just solid parks. The rides they have, they work. I mean, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a good day at the park. And do they need new coasters? Sure, but I do feel like they're really, really good. Markel, what do you think of Six Flags Fiesta Texas? It's by far my favorite Six Flags park. Yes, I would rather spend a day at Fiesta over Magic Mountain or Great Adventure. That's a hot take right there. Just the whole setting, the way the park operates, it doesn't feel like a Six Flags park. And Jeff Seifert's the GM down at Fiesta, and in my opinion, hands down, one of the best GMs, if not the best, in any park in the chain. The way he interacts with his fans on social media in the park, and his dedication of getting the job done, it's phenomenal. I mean, who would have ever thought Fiesta would get the air race and then the dive, and then all of a sudden get a new coaster in 2023. So it's very, very wild. Maverick, has year-round operations been a success for Carowinds and King's Dominion? Definitely not as much for King's Dominion. I know that they've struggled at certain days. Obviously, the weather in that part of Virginia is a little bit different than here in Charlotte, North Carolina. But it's weird. Like this week in Charlotte, it was 65 degrees on some days. But then today, it was 54 and kind of colder. Tomorrow, it's going to be a high of 43 and rain, so they won't even open tomorrow. But yeah, I think it's the first year, right? So they're going to take a few years to kind of see how it's going to work it out. I do not see them, canceling year-round operations after one try at it. But I definitely think Cedar Fair needs to start investing in festivals. I would love to have like a craft beer festival, like on weekends in January. Then February have, food truck festivals. Just to had, because not all the rides are open. You have to have, basically a reason to get someone there. The Coaster Dad again. Thank you so much. Do you have plans to add theme park prediction stickers on your merch? Need one for my toolbox to go with the rest of my coaster stickers. Love it. No, but I will for you. How about that? So just email me theme park predictions and more, and let me know like what you want, and I'll make it happen. Let's see here. Yeah. All right, Coaster Scorpion, Brandon. I need to ride Wicked Cyclone again with you. Problem is though, where'd it go? It went away. Oh, here it is. School's been bugging me. Any memories from Six Flags New England? Well, that was a fun ride. We rode the front seat, Sarah, and that was great. And I was not expecting you to scream and be as loud as you were during the ride, but that was cool. That was fun. So it's great meeting you, and definitely maybe we ride again. Chris Allen, what do you think King's Dominion's next coaster will be? Definitely Volcano Plot of Land. The wing coaster is no longer a thing, which is good. That layout was very lackluster. There's so many different rides they can get there. I would personally love to see a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster like Monster at Adventureland. That would look really cool in that area with some cool lighting. But I would also think like I could see Cedar Fair maybe doing like going way off and getting the America's first access coaster in that location. Something just way off the rails for Cedar Fair, but I don't know. They'll probably play it very safe, but who knows? I love King's Dominion though. It's one of my favorite parks for sure. Hannah, how did you end up in South Carolina from Ohio? I'm actually in North Carolina, but like 3 miles that way, South Carolina. So I started in Ohio, and I moved from Ohio to Massachusetts in 2006. And then I lived there for 2 years, worked at Six Flags New England. And no offense to anyone who lives in New England, I just couldn't handle the weather. I didn't really like the area, just wasn't for me. So I moved back to Ohio for like 4 weeks. And my buddy Todd, who I'm still friends with today, was like, hey, I'm moving to Florida. Can you help me move down with my boyfriend? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. So I got in the car, helped him drive down. It was in February. We left Cincinnati, Ohio. It was like 10 degrees. And we came down to Orlando. It was 75 degrees and blue sky. I'm like, do you need a roommate? Because I'm moving. And he said, yep. And then I moved to Florida. Then reconnected with my girlfriend from Massachusetts, and she moved down to Florida. Then we moved to Charlotte in 2014, and we got married. Now we have 2 kids, and we love it here, and we are not moving. I would like to move to I would like to own a house near the beach to just go visit, but I like Charlotte for the most part. Raymond, thank you again for the donation. I appreciate it. I really do. What is your favorite ride to ride at night? That is a good question. And before anyone yells at me, I have not been on Voyage at night. That's not my fault. It is my fault. I need to go ride it at night, 100%. But I really liked. It's hard to go wrong with Beast at Night. It's so good, especially Beast at Night fog in the fog. But Fury at Carowinds, if you go in the summertime when it's rainy, and like the park doesn't close, of course, but I've been on Fury once for sure where you're going up, you can't see the top of the lift. It's all fog. and it's great. And so like we rode front seat, and literally like the first quarter of the drop, you couldn't see a thing. And then as you kind of going down, it kind of cleared out a little bit, and all of a sudden there's the track, and it was a really really uh, cool experience. So Beast Mystic Timbers is great too. Yes, Alan Trotter. Yes, Mystic Timbers. I agree. Is the better night ride. I mean, the Beast is so sentimental to me as I worked on the Beast, but Mystic at night is honestly, it's hands down. Chillicothe. Yep, I drive through there on 35 when I go home to Ohio. Oh, Boulder Dash at night too is good too. Now, Alan, Boulder Dash at night or Mystic Timbers? That's a question for you, buddy. Boulder Dash, 100%. Yeah, yeah. Back to my other night ride question. I forgot about Boulder Dash. It's so good. And Lightning Rod's good too. Yes, Alan. Lightning Rod's great because, especially at Christmas, because when you're going over the top of the hill right before the quad down, you see all the buildings decked out on Christmas lights. It really, really is cool. Velocicoaster at night is really cool as well. Texan coasters. Yeah, I do like Velocicoaster. Cedar or Iron Gwazi at night's really good too. But I really like the trees. It just adds to the whole feeling of spookiness and darkness, and yeah. And by the way, Park Visions. You don't like Boulder Dash? What's wrong with you, man? Boulder Dash is great. And yes, Dan the Coaster Man, Adventure Express is a very good dark ride or night ride as well. Yeah, Alan, you need to get up to ride Boulder Dash at night for sure. GRL Power Coasters. They're always on the channel. I appreciate you. Just want to let you know that. What are your predictions about Discovery Kingdom? That park's kind of in a mess right now. I feel like they don't really know what they're doing. And it's just that park has so much potential, but I just feel like they're not even trying to reach that potential, whether it's operation wise or ride closures or what. It's a very interesting subject to really. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but obviously space is an issue. So hopefully they can work something out where they can, add new rides and coasters, etc. So we'll see. I mean, I would like to see a new coaster for sure, but it's all about the space. What Woody would you like to suspiciously burn down? Hurler at Carowinds, because they're not going to RMC it because it's the 5th most ridden ride in the park. So Cedar Fair is very smart. Why would you convert a roller coaster that is popular? Hurler at King's Dominion, on the other hand, was not as popular as Carowinds Hurler, hence why they did that. So we'll see. Do you still think the plans are on the table for Knott's Berry Farm to get the Fury plus size Giga? I do believe those blueprints were real. I do believe that it's in conversation. Whether how serious they are at this point, that's the question. But I do feel as if it's on the table. It might not be as large, but who knows? I'm actually working on a video. I'm really excited to get that out probably in the next month or so. Kind of like my reasonings as to let's not give up on that hope, because I feel like they could. How long do you think the stream will go on for? I told my wife I'll be down around 10 o'clock to have an hour of TV time with her. So I'll go for about an hour, 10 more minutes. Let's see. WY Guy, do you think Cedar Fair could end up selling Michigan's Adventure? I mean, they could, but let's think about this. Even if they sell it to Six Flags or SeaWorld or a different company, they're not going to invest in it because Michigan's Adventure is already profitable. So they might add a ride, but they're not going to just if Michigan's Adventure was located near bigger cities and didn't have like everything north of Michigan's Adventure is nothing as far as population goes, like different scenario. But I just feel like Cedar Fair's played that park very smartly. While I don't agree, and inside of me, I think let's get a new coaster and rides, but business wise, return on investment is everything for these parks, and I just feel like there's really no need for it right now. Maybe down the road. I mean, I would like to see a new flat ride added. I could see a new coaster. I do think Michigan's Adventure will get a new coaster by 2030. So that's for sure. And let's see here. Best manufacturer, Intamin for me. Love it. Hannah, again, do you think Corkscrew could be torn down at the end of the season and that land used for part of the reimagining dragster? I definitely think Corkscrew is going to be torn down the next couple of years. For dragster, I thought that in the beginning, but I just think something would have happened by now, unfortunately. So everyone says, oh, they won't remove Corkscrew because it's the first roller coaster to go upside down 3 different times. Okay, so Vortex at Kings Island was the first coaster to go upside down, 6 different times. So that's out the window. I don't think Cedar Fair cares about that. I definitely feel as if Corkscrew's days are numbered, and Corkscrew will be removed before Gemini. And another very interesting thing too with that is if you take Google Maps and the measurement tool and go around the border of Corkscrew, it actually takes up more room than Valraven does. And there's I think even Raptor, which is mind-boggling. And you can fit Plopsaland, the Ride of Happiness, a wonderful mock extreme spinner coaster. That layout would fit with room to spare in Corkscrew's layout as far as track length goes. Raymond, again, thank you so much. Cedar Fair bought Michigan's Adventure to stop future competition. Yes, there was Dick Kenzel did bring that up years ago, and back in the day, that was a huge park. I mean, not a huge, but like it was an up and coming park. It was a family-owned park, and they're rumored to get the hypercoaster, and then Cedar Fair bought it and stopped the hypercoaster plans. And it's a shame, but again, I feel like if I was in charge of Cedar Fair, as much as I would want to add a roller coaster or ride, I'd be hesitant as to the return on investment. Does it make sense? But I feel like with every park, you have to eventually add a new roller coaster or ride. And it's been, what, like 15, 16, 17 years, whatever it is. So it's definitely time. So we'll see. Let's see here. Nick, how likely do you think Kings Island would get a mock extreme spinner? I think either Cedar Point or Kings Island would definitely get one in the next 4 or 5 years. They're honestly, if Ride to Happiness was located not at Plopsaland, I think in the Netherlands, but located here in America, it would be top 5 for a lot of us. I've heard nothing but amazing things from people that have been to America, been on all of our best rides, been on that, and it's top 10 for them. So definitely excited to see that. Park Visions, Brandon, do you think a big park would invest in an intertwined ride experience like what Luna Park is doing? Yeah, like the log flume and the roller coaster. Adventureland's doing it too in Iowa. I think it's a great little concept. And why not? You get 2 for 1, 2 rides, and whether or not the coaster is like a good coaster, it's still, we are a very small population of the people that go to the park. So general public love it. It works for them. It works for the park, which is great. So we'll see. Yes, hang time on coasters is overrated. Totally agree. Do you think El Toro will be safe? I mean, I'm gonna go ride it. I'm a firm believer of I don't let things scare me. I'll go ride it. Why not? Right? If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But I definitely think that Six Flags is going the direction I would not go with it. But that's just my take. Again, who am I cheering for tomorrow? Eagles. Which aero suspended coaster do you think is next on the chopping block? It's a good question. I mean, Iron Dragon at Cedar Point takes up a decent plot of land right in the middle of the park. Vortex at Canada's Wonderland is a great ride, one of the best ones at the park. Kings Island's the Bat. It's so far away from the rest of the park, but it's still in good shape. So maybe Ninja at Magic Mountain. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. I think that's what it is. Uh, Hey, Charlotte, fellow Charlottean here. Welcome. What part of Charlotte? 15 minutes. I live about 10. What part of Charlotte, if you don't mind me asking? What's your favorite ride at Carowinds? Fury 325, obviously. And my favorite flat ride is probably Mountain Gliders. Also, when do you think Carowinds will get their next coaster and what would it be? Outside chance 2024, most likely 2025. I would say the Rapids location. I could very well see a water coaster from Mock Rides, whether it's a Mock Power Splash or just a water coaster. I could also see a wooden coaster, maybe a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. There's a lot of cool things they could do there. Raymond, thank you again. Remember to smile today. Keep riding coasters. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, it's funny because I have that slogan to remind you guys, you know, life is tough no matter what age you are, what you're going through. We all have our days. And I use that all the time in my life where I'm struggling or I have a bad day. I'm like, all right, keep riding coasters. And now my son comes in and says, Daddy, keep riding coasters. So it's been a complete 360. It's really, really special. So, and thank you for watching all my videos. Whoever said that when it went away. All right, I got like 2 more minutes here. West side of Charlotte. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, it's really close. Tyler Kane, what do you think will happen to Top Thrill Dragster? A real prediction, but love your videos. Obviously, they're reopening it, which is great. Just in a different, I guess, something's going to be different about it. I still think extended layout to an extent. I just feel like there's a lot of reasons why I'm a past videos for that, but it's definitely fun to watch. Definitely. Let's see here. What is your best memories from working at Kings Island? Excellent question. Probably the friends I made and riding the Flying Eagles before they moved down to Carowinds. Like when I was working there in 2004, I get off, I go ride all the rides with my friends every day, or you know, the mornings before my shift, and we would just ride the Flying Eagles all the time, snap the crap out of those cables, and clear out the queue line and scare people. It was great. Let's see here. What do you think of Busch Gardens Williamsburg for a 12, 10, and 7-year-old? Definitely a good park. I mean, they have a lot of cool rides, and the height requirements are actually really good for those ages because they can get on quite a bit of stuff. And there's so much to do with that park besides like the rides. So definitely would recommend. So who would win in a fight? You or Airtime Thrills? I'm not really a violent person, so I don't know. But if I'm fighting for my family and my kids, and I'll win. I'm sure. No, Chris is a cool dude. I've never met him, but nothing but respect to him. Let's see here, Brandon. When will Great Adventure get their next coaster? Probably 2025, maybe 2024 for their 50th. What's your opinion on Green Lantern at Great Adventure? I loved it as Chang at Kentucky Kingdom. I just don't really care for stand-up coasters anymore. Ro Blake, thank you, man. Hope to see you at Carowinds again soon. How long do you think it'll take for all the Vekoma boomerangs to get removed? Hopefully before they remove them, they'll replace them with the better restraints. What is your favorite coaster of all time? All-time favorite? That's a tough question because like all time, like years and years of riding. Probably say Magnum at Cedar Point. That was a lot of memories around Magnum. Good night, Katie. Thank you guys. All right, I have to go, but no offense, but El Toro Ryan would probably clap you, whatever clap means. Sure, cool. Yeah, clap like a clap, like give me a round of applause or slap. I don't know. No, He's cool. Do you do meetups at Carowinds? I haven't yet because when I go, I'm usually with my family, and I don't really have a ton of time to like go ride rides anymore because I want to work and do my videos as well as spend time with families. But when I do go, it's more or less unannounced where, hey, I have a couple hours. My neighbor calls me, hey, let's go to the park. All right, cool. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I have to go. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Appreciate it. This was fun. I try to do one every month, and nothing but love. And again, you guys, thank you. Couldn't do this out. Could not do this without you guys. And have fun. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Be safe and smile. Keep riding coasters and always think positive.